Hi everyone, my name is Brian Weezer, and today I'm going to be discussing a topic called exercise of medicine. So I'm pretty sure everyone can relate to a scenario where they went to a doctor's office and the doctor prescribed them medication for something that wasn't really that serious, right? It could be anywhere from low to mild depression, and I feel like doctors should prescribe exercise as a first treatment before general medication for manageable conditions, like I said, mild depression. And inactivity costs the U.S. roughly 19.2 billion, 192 billion a year in healthcare costs. Depression is one of the most heavily medicated conditions in the United States, and that could be easily treated with just regular exercise. As you can see, everyone's getting in a workout, they're feeling good about themselves, they're doing something to benefit themselves, not only for their mental health but their physical health as well. Now, a lot of people don't put into fact the negative side effects of medications such as opioid abuse, right? A lot of people can get into the addiction with certain medications that the doctor prescribes them, right? And in 2024, 467 billion was wasted on medication alone, and that was in the 2024 year, and it increases every single year, right? And there's also been a trial where instead of treating the patients with medicine, they prescribed them regular exercise. So out of 5,000 adults, they were all asked to, instead of taking medication, to do regular exercise. So it showed effects comparable to antidepressant medication. And this is what happens when you don't take medication, you just do exercise. Right? Let them know. Go, come on. Yup, let's sit up. Go, break. Up. Listen. There it is. Alright, and then...
Dude, that actually felt easier than the last time.
Swear! Alright, then let me show you a visualization of two scenarios of what people can feel when they're getting prescribed medication, right? So, for scenario A, I'm gonna give you a visualization of a patient walks in, they're describing their issues to the doctor, and the doctor immediately just prescribes the medication, right? Without the doctor going into detail of how their physical activity is in the gym and how that benefits you, right? Now I'm gonna run you through scenario B. Scenario B could be the same patient walks in, but instead of just being prescribed medication, the doctor asks him, how is your physical activity, and how can you fit exercise into your schedule, and here are the benefits, and just going to the gym 3 to 4 times a week could actually benefit you instead of taking regular medication. And like I said, a lot of people don't realize the negative side effects of taking medication. A lot of people can fall into opioid abuse. They could overdose, right? And over 60 million people worldwide struggle with opioid addiction. And on average, 100,000 people die of overdoses a year due to medication alone. And the side effects that people hate about certain medications could be weight gain, right? It could be reduced libido, and it could be feeling numb and sleep deprivation, right? So one of the things I would highly encourage people is to just, if you're feeling like a little depressed, maybe go to the gym 3-4 times a week. It's just slowly working your way up, and you will see that it will probably benefit you more than just taking regular medication, right? This time at
4 minutes.
Where? Alright, so instead of taking medication that is prescribed, such as painkillers and opioids, right, you are risking yourself of getting addicted to it, right? And like I mentioned before, 100,000 people a year die of overdoses, right? And there's so many more benefits of just going to a gym, right? It's very accessible, it's cheap, and as you can see, there's gyms almost everywhere you go. And I feel like the reason why people would choose to take medication is because it's very accessible, right? A lot of people have Medicare, they have insurance that covers it, and they want to choose the easy route just because it's very available right there. Where you want to choose the easy route, and just with the gym, like I said, it benefits you. It only benefits you mentally, but physically, right? Give me a second. you know,
Moving away.
huh?
You just keep moving away and it's all that fun.
Where?
I don't think the mic is sticking to those.
Yeah, so like I said, I feel like doctors should prescribe regular exercise instead of just giving them medication to something that could be easily curable just by being active, improving their mental health. Like for example, depression. A lot of people struggle with it. It's one of the most heavily medicated things that doctors prescribe of. And just going to the gym regularly, 3-4 times a week will be more than enough. And now we're gonna talk to this guy and how exercise affects his life. Can I talk to you real quick about a quick question?
Yeah.
So how would you say exercise has benefited you in your life, and how would you prescribe it? You know, how would you compare it to a person taking regular medication?
Well, I mean, by experience, right? I was on high blood pressure medication for maybe about like 4 or 5 months because my blood pressure was like at around like 180, 190. So, and that was when I was like at 480 pounds, right? So basically, to kind of help remedy that, it was now just starting to get active, right? And eating healthy. So essentially for me, the first 50 pounds that I lost, by some weird coincidence, I lost my pills, right?
Yeah.
But then throughout the time, I was like monitoring my blood pressure and, you know, just all that stuff in general, right? And before, like I was mentioning, it was like 180, 190, you know, blood pressure. I monitor it after losing my pills. I was like at like 119, 120, over like 60, 70. And it was like that for about 3 days. And I called up my doctor, and my doctor, I told him about me losing my pills and hoping I could get it prescribed again. But then I was also letting my doctor know about my blood pressure monitorization. And essentially, when I told her those numbers and, you know, that I lost this much weight, she basically called it cured for me, right?
Instead of taking the regular medication, you took exercise. And how did that? And it affected you way more, right? It benefited you.
Exercise is probably the best remedy that you can give to yourself. Of course, like, you know, maybe if you have like some underlying conditions that maybe you had as a kid, or, you know, born with, you know, because some people say it's hereditary, but to me, honestly, I think that stuff can still be cured, right, through ways of eating healthy and, well, diet and exercise, right? So me personally, the remedy to get rid of most of your problems can happen through exercise.
Instead of it just being regular medicine that a doctor can prescribe you, right?
Yeah.
You would highly recommend exercise instead of just a doctor prescribing you
Ozempic.
Ozempic. Right?
Well, honestly, you know, you
It's not
still
only
want to
that.
seek out medical attention, right? But
It just depends on the situation.
But the doctors, I feel like, will tell you the exact same thing as, like, for me being like a testament as the fact that I was overweight.
Yeah.
You know, them telling me that, you know, you need to diet appropriately, exercise regularly. So essentially, like, if I were to tell somebody like that was in my situation, exercise is the remedy, right?
It really is a medicine.
So, I mean, now I'm down 230 pounds.
Yep.
So, I mean, I haven't had to seen a doctor since then.
That's good.
So,
9 minutes.
That's fucking beautiful. All right, thank you so much.